all in the efforts to discover America's most haunted. With your host, ghost hunter and author, Dan Terry.
Good evening, boys and ghouls. I am Dan Terry, your ghost host with the most haunted. It is almost October. The fun is coming like a train. I mean, I can't wait for it. And I know I've been doing a lot of Midwest stuff lately, Kansas, Missouri, such and that, even up in Ohio, Iowa. But I got to come back to my new home of North Carolina. Tell you what, it's hard to believe it's been 5 years I've been here. And I know the first 3 years I was spending more time down in West Virginia with the ghost folks down there. But in the time I've been here, I've met so many incredible, wonderful people in the paranormal field, from ghost tour operators to people who owned haunted places and ghost groups, ghost hunters. And the group I want to bring back, because you've seen them before, you've been with me very long, the girls from Stokes County Paranormal. It's a mother-daughter team. I've been invited to go with these groups for so many times. I've got standing invitations in Ohio, Kansas, what's the other ones? Well, West Virginia, of course, Virginia. But the only group that I have went with is Stokes County, because they are top-notch, really top-notch hunters. They ghost hunt with a style and a intelligence that I don't see in many of the new groups. So let me bring back Stokes County Paranormal, and let's talk about what they've got going. Y'all made me so welcome here when I got to North Carolina. And of course, you've invited me on a couple of your ghost hunts that were incredible. So I know you've got so much going, but let's go back a little bit, because you've done so much. I know you did the Battleship North Carolina. You've been in Savannah a couple of times. You're doing work with what was it called? The hotel or the haunted rooms or something like that.
We have done work with Haunted Rooms America.
It is Haunted Rooms America. Okay. And I know, I've seen some of the work you've done. Guys, if you get onto Stokes County Paranormal's Facebook page, they do live shoots while they're there. They'll bring it up live and you can see it. So, done a lot of neat stuff. What got you started on this?
You go ahead.
Really, it's with you, and it's actually that'd be our 20th anniversary.
Oh yes, our 20th anniversary of
investigating
in general. So yeah, I grew up in a haunted house in King, North Carolina. I was terrified as a child. It wasn't until I traveled with work as an adult to Texas that I had an experience there in a haunted hotel and was terrified, and came back home and started asking questions. And like Kimberly said, that's 20-year anniversary. Fun fact, I leave next weekend with my job to go back to Texas, to the same exact area in San Antonio. And we'll visit that hotel while I'm down there.
Well, tell me about that hotel then, because now we got to know.
Well, back then it was the Sheraton Gunter. It has went through a major renovation, so it's no longer a Sheraton. I think it's just called the Gunter Hotel. And it's one of the oldest locations. There was the Frontier Hotel that presidents and things stayed at way back in the day. But there was a story about a gentleman who murdered the female he had in the room with him, and nobody ever saw her leave. And it ended up discovering that he had chopped her up and put her body parts in a meat grinder and flushed her down the toilet.
What a nice man.
Yeah. So yeah, I experienced a lot while I was there in my room, and it pretty much set me on this path.
Did that room, is that where it happened, or was there some other spirits you were seeing there?
That was not the exact room. The hotel staff was not allowed to talk about it at all. My ghost tour guide at the Alamo, my very first ghost tour was at the Alamo. And he had told us we had asked about our hotel, and he said, actually, yeah, you haven't heard that story? No. So he told us the exact room, and we come back and we go up to that floor and we're taking pictures down the hallway. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. everything started after that. I think I might have been the floor below that room.
Okay. What
but
was your feeling or seeing?
What topped it off that got me to leave that room and have to move in with my boss in her suite was the night our conference ended, getting off the elevator and smelling the most rancid smell I'd ever smelled. And the closer I got to my room, it was coming from my room. So I opened my door. My bed was pulled down and disheveled. I threw my stuff on the bed, closed the door, and went back to the ballroom. Hey, can somebody come back up here with me? We get back up there, and as soon as the elevator doors open on my floor, you smell flowers. Flowers. We get to my door. Of course, the smell is strong, leads us right to my door, and you open the door, and that's what you smell.
Flowers.
Maintenance. They said they weren't allowed to talk about the goings-ons in the hotel as far as spirits go. He would not come into my room. He would not cross the threshold. And they offered to move me. I said, yeah, you're going to move me. I'm not staying in this room tonight. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So what do you think now that you've been at this for 20 years? First was the smell that was so rancid, which could be a body.
Prior to the smell the night before, my bed was pulled down when I came in. Somebody told me that they may have turned down service. Okay, I didn't think about it. But I specifically turned off my air conditioner, and it kept going off and on all night long. I mean, I had stuff happening the night before.
Okay. But the first time you smelled, go ahead.
No, sorry. I get carried away with this story because I should write a book about it.
Yes, you should. I told you all that before. But you had the rancid smell, and then you had flowers.
Yes. When I came back up in the elevator with the people, it was a member who was with our group, plus my boss came back up with me to my room. And they smelled the flowers as soon as the elevator doors opened.
So
was this? It smelled like before.
You think that's one spirit forcing another one out?
Honestly, Dan, I don't know. My thoughts was it was the gentleman who had dismembered the lady because the smell was horrific. And the fact that the maintenance man wouldn't come through the door kind of scared me a little bit too.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I begged to go to the airport that night. I was going to sleep in the airport. I slept with my shoes on and my clothes on the couch in my boss's suite, and I was ready to go.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Yeah. So you started on this trail, and then you drug your unwilling daughter into this terrible lifestyle.
Here's one more fun fact. I went full circle last year. So every year, the company I work for does a conference, and I am one of the people that go on the site inspections for the next year. So last year, when I was on the site inspection in Texas, this hotel was actually one of the 3 we were looking at. Okay. So I was very excited to go back, a little bit intimidated, but excited. And it turned out they were renovating, and we weren't going to be able to see the hotel. But at the last minute, before we went to get on our flight, they called and said, we want you all to be the first group to come in a hard hat tour. So I actually got to go into this hotel and see everything under renovations. I had to wear the hard hat and the safety vest and all this stuff. And he was still there. As they were showing me some of the redone rooms, I just felt like something was across the hotel lobby watching me.
So now you're going to stay in that hotel?
Well, I'm debating. The hotel that our conference is at is 2 blocks away. I can see it when I walk out on the sidewalk from my hotel. I'm debating on whether or not to stay one night there or just go roam around it. She thinks I should do it, but
I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds exciting, and that, like you said, full circle. I love that.
Yeah, it was.
You think that's a coincidence?
No.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's what Kimberly said. The stars aligned. Everything was perfect.
So you've done, like I said, I know you was in the Battleship North Carolina here a few months ago. And what else? What was you doing in Savannah?
Savannah was our most recent.
Yeah.
Back up just a little bit to January. We've done a lot of private rentals this year for just us 2. And our tag along we take with us.
Yeah.
So in January, we was
St. Albans.
At St. Albans. We rented out St. Albans, so we had that whole place to ourselves. That that was
fun.
really
That was
fun.
Freezing cold.
A little scary. And then in May, we went to Gettysburg for a halfway to Halloween special. We live streamed from those places. We did the orphanage and Jenny Wade House. And we did a stint with Gettysburg
Paranormal Association.
Yeah, and we got some really good evidence, which Dan, you got to see for that. But then fast forward, Kimberly says, "Hey, I have a weekend free." Really? Okay.
Let's go.
So we picked Savannah, and I just happened to, on a whim, on that Wednesday night before we left on Friday, emailed the Sorrel Weed House and said, "Hey, do you by chance have any late night private rentals available?" She said yes. So that's where we went.
Okay. Have any exciting things that happened there?
Sorrel was fairly quiet.
It was
a lot more quiet than usual.
Yeah. I was a little let down by it, but I mean, having the whole place to ourselves for 4 hours was
that in itself was just an experience.
It was, yeah. Not a lot.
If I remember, wasn't it in Savannah where you got your hair pulled and that you had a video of it? Was it the same building or just the city?
It's
the same building.
Okay. I guess the one didn't remember you, or just wasn't in the mood to play.
I think the mood was a little bit different because the way they've set up their tours now is a little bit different than how they were when we were there initially. There's more lighting on, I guess. Some of the stories that came even from Ghost Hunters, the show, they've debunked them over the past couple of years as far as the stories they were telling about the history. So the history kind of changed a little bit, and I think that whole just culminated and just kind of made it weird. Not a lot went on. Yeah.
I know we chatted about it before, but your time in Madison, have you done anything in the old mortuary / what is it, dry shop or whatever?
Yeah. Matter of fact, we had, Dan.
That was actually our finale for our halfway to Halloween special.
Okay.
So we were there for our finale location. We live streamed it.
And that was our tours last year too. We led their tours.
I remember you was there last year. I saw the first 2 episodes of that program that included that, and I couldn't take it anymore.
No.
I just couldn't buy it. I'm not saying they're lying. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I just couldn't buy it. What do you feel about the place when you was in there?
Well, we're very familiar with it at this point, and since we're working with the owner on this year's Weekend of Ghost walks, so we've been in there right much over the past year.
Yeah,
it's not.
There's no demons. There's no evil.
People can believe. Don't get me wrong. People can have their own beliefs of what is there. The majority of people focus it strictly on the Lawson family murders. I had Charlie's name come through one time on an investigation.
And that was with, is it Detroit Paranormal?
Yes, the people who were actually on the Netflix series, we did an investigation with them last year.
Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
But that was the only time we've ever had anything associated with the Lawsons come through. Everything else has been
the little girl.
Not generic, but it's been like there's a child there, there's a woman there. We've had a couple of
seen
male
things,
voices, shadow figures. Nothing really too crazy.
But it used to be a funeral home, so everybody clings to the Lawson thing. Not saying they're not there. I'm just saying that. Our feeling is not them.
The Lawsons were not the only people to use that funeral home, so there could be all kinds of spirits from there.
And a fun fact, that wasn't the first location those bodies were taken to.
Okay, where was that?
You said.
I can say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
Okay, so there's a store in Walnut Cove that used to be a funeral home as well in the basement.
It was a hardware store and a mortuary. It's now known as Just Plain Country.
They were originally taken there. They didn't have enough space. So they moved them to Madison because they had the lift elevator that would take them up. And then once they were there, didn't they move down? There's some debate on whether or not.
There's a lot of debate who really involved them that we're finding out this year.
So there's another little place right down the street from Madison Dry Goods. The Mad Bee.
The Mad Bee.
There's some stories that they could have been taken there for something during that process.
Mm-hmm. This is new information.
Yeah, it's
so
new
we're still
information
trying to
for us.
decipher everything that we've been given.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lengthy thing when you got that kind of history.
Yep.
So the Lawson, I mean, for the folks who don't know bluntly, Dad killed every member of the family but one, and then offed himself.
On Christmas Day.
It was a weird situation. And didn't he have one son he let live? He sent him away or something?
Yep.
Yes.
Arthur.
And I've heard a lot about that. I've heard about the mansion that's not standing, or the house they were in, it's not standing anymore. But people who said they were there as children, and it was a scary place. Children, yeah, of course. What's your opinion on this building in Madison then, since you've been there 2 or 3 times? It is haunted, right?
Oh, yes. There's definitely spirits there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And Lawson's, if they're there, are minor players.
Minor players. That's a good way to say it, Dan. Minor players. So we don't offend anybody who firmly believes that's what's there. But,
sure.
We have came across too many different things there. There's a male spirit in the attic.
Yeah.
He's not in our opinion, he's not a demon. No. He's a grumpy old man, and you're in his space.
I mean, that was also hotel space as well.
Yes, there was a hotel there as well. Right there on the same floor where the mortuary is. So you're going to have all those people that used to come down to sell their tobacco at the back of the warehouse just up around the corner. You've got all that history there. And Smitty's, the owner, has done a really good job of preserving that history.
He's got at least one room dedicated to each thing that's been in that building.
Yes.
So he's done a really good job of representing everything that place has been.
Plus the Lawson Family Murder Museum. He's the largest, I guess, connoisseur of
largest collection
of murder memorabilia. So if you live in the area, that's a good thing to go. It's really neat. Mm-hmm. I know that's kind of morbid to say, but he's got it all set up nice and preserved, and you can walk through and listen to the recordings and see all the memorabilia. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's done a good job. You can even have lunch in the old viewing room. There's tables. There's a viewing room to eat your lunch. But
I may have to check that out. Just so you know, Mayberry, where I live, Mount Airy, North Carolina, Mayberry was based on this town, is getting a serial killer museum.
Yeah.
Yep, we heard tell of that.
Oh, you've heard that? Okay. Thought I was going to surprise you with that one. It surprised me. I heard about it a couple of weeks ago during a tour guide meeting. So
we heard about it a long time ago.
I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. I see where I put it.
I've forgotten about it.
Yeah, that's wild. It just doesn't seem like it fits in Mayberry, but I'm not going to argue. Most of my ghost tours about murders.
Well, but people have a true fascination with it. Just like here with the ghost tours of Danbury. Who'd have thought? Yeah. Who would have thought that it would be haunted, number one, and that you'd have so many people interested? Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Danbury, because I know the building you're sitting in right now, the arts building, is really haunted with a ghost or two. And you've talked about them before. What's going on with that one?
We've got a few new things happening. And it has been steady. It has been steady the past couple months.
It's been kind of on and off. It's been going through cycles. We've had some quiet weeks. We're actually in a quiet week right now. About 2 weeks ago, activity was really, really kicked up. And it was only around certain people. So it was very strange.
And it's not just Kimberly. I mean, it's other workers in the building that is happening to now, which that's something new.
Like 2 weeks ago, it was myself and my coworker, Keith. We were the only two experiencing things. And it was mostly because we were the only ones opening and closing the shop.
Okay. Well, if I remember right, there's a male spirit there that is very active around you.
Well,
Dave was what we called our resident spirit. But we actually, when we did our trip to Gettysburg, was it last year? Year before last, we actually went up there to pay tribute to him and have not heard much out of him since then.
Really from him since.
So he may have been just waiting for someone to acknowledge his sacrifice.
We pretty much, that's what we did. We had caught that EVP of him saying, "I like yellow," during a conversation one night. So we made a trip to Gettysburg specifically to pay tribute to him because I found all the information and it matched perfectly to what he had given us. And when we got up there, I even went to the Gettysburg Historical Society thing and had them research him. And she pulled up his muster roll and it said exactly what I already knew. So we took him some flowers from here that were yellow and told him we just brought him a little piece of home. And we left him on the battlefield for him, said a few kind words. And he's come in a couple times to warn us, so to speak, of some shady people, I guess. But besides that, unless we specifically call out,
even then, we
rarely hear from him anymore. But there's a lot of new ones.
Yeah.
A lot of new ones coming through.
Here.
So what's your opinion? Is there a portal there they're coming in and out of, or do they just sense a friendly place?
I think it's kind of like a pass-through.
Yeah. A lot of
different
pass through here.
One night when we were here after a rehearsal, I think it was, we just started recording because we started hearing stuff as usual. And we had, were you doing Estes or
I was
Spirit
doing
Box?
Estes.
We had, it seemed like a whole family coming through asking for water. We even went up to the front and got a glass of water and brought it back.
Very strange.
And we had devices going off as we're talking to what we think is a family looking for water.
Wow, that's kind of weird.
It is. I mean, and you got to understand too, though, that with the Apple Gallery that's downstairs in the old bank, the oldest part of the building, that artwork changes out every so often.
Every month.
So sometimes activity picks up when a new artist comes in, depending on what the focus of their artwork is.
Okay.
So we kind of found that correlation.
Yeah.
Do you think there might be something connected to some of that artwork, or it's just changes the mood?
Potentially, yeah, both.
Yeah.
Some of the worst activity that I've seen, not worst, but the scariest things I've experienced was with one artist. As soon as their artwork was brought in, it was shadow figures, things moving, disembodied voices, and as soon as it moved out, it was gone.
Is that artist still alive?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's not a spirit of the artist, it's somebody else or something else. That's, there's more mysteries in ghost hunting than answers, I'm afraid.
There is, for sure.
So what's your next plan coming up? New visits coming up?
We're actually going somewhere tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not new.
It's not new, though. It's our first entry to one of our stops on our ghost tour. We haven't been in there since last year's ghost tour. So we're going to go check it out tonight. We finally got the codes to get in, and we're going to just do a little mini investigation, see if there's anything new.
What about the jail or the old jail? Are you going to hit that again this year?
That is on our
tour
tour this year. So
I have got to get down there for that. I really want to see it. The old jails, I love those.
We'd like to have you come down. I got a K2 meter to return to you as well.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, I had 3 others, so I forgot about that. It's been a year now.
I know, and it's still sitting in the same spot. So the locations on our ghost tours this year will be the Arts Place, the old Danbury High School up the road, of course the courthouse, and then the old jail. Lots of new stuff going on in the courthouse as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going to have to talk about the new courthouse, but I got to go to a commercial here in just a second. So we're going to step back for just a minute and we'll come back, talk about, God, that courthouse was amazing. Talk about the courthouse and some other things. And I want to be sure, though, and have people see that your Danbury Ghost Tours are Friday the 3rd, 10th, and 24th. So basically 3 weekends of the month.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep. And then that missing weekend will be in Madison.
Out of curiosity, did you ever hear anything from the group of guys that come down the night I was there with you all doing the courthouse?
Oh, that was the guys from Wilmington.
The guys from Wilmington that, he had a long drive home. We captured stuff.
We captured a lot.
We captured. I think I sent you some of that when you were going.
Like the 5 hours worth of
going to presentation. I don't know that we back from them personally, though.
Yeah.
I just remember they were getting ready to leave early because nothing was going on, and then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose.
Yes, that's
speaking.
the first time the tripwire went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was insane. It would not stop.
It's done that 3 times since then, 2 or 3 times.
It's done it like 3 or 4 times in there since then, and it's done it once at the arts place.
Okay. No, that was so much fun because those lights were just doing things they weren't supposed to do.
Right.
And by the way, after being with you two, I went out and bought a couple of the little cat ball light things because I thought those went so well. Anyway, hang on. I'll be right back. I got to run a couple commercials. Guys, I cannot tell you, if you get the chance, check out the courthouse in Danbury when they do the tour, or go on some of their public ghost events, public ghost hunts there. The place was amazing. And like I said, the lights, at one point they left me alone. I'm talking to the ghosts and they're answering really neat. It was just cool. And got to check that out. But for now, I also want you guys to check something else out. Tell me what you think.
The UNX Network presents a health and wellness spiritually based brand of hemp-derived CBD products made by Hopewell Farm in Harrogate, Tennessee. We apply our Cathara energy work with all of our plants and products. Our products made in small batches with only 2 ingredients of pure hemp, full spectrum crude oil, and coconut-derived MCT oil. Third-party lab tested for potency and legal THC levels with 6 strengths of 1 ounce oil to choose from. Know what you're buying and get what you pay for from Hopewell Farm. Applied directly to a specific area, Hopewell Farm topical salve in 1 ounce and ½ ounce sizes made with pure hemp crude oil, comfrey extract, and all natural ingredients. Find the Hopewell Farm link and coupon code on the UNX Network website at unxnetwork.com. That's unxnetwork.com. The new book, How to Research a Haunted House by paranormal investigator Margie Kay and professional researcher Violet Wisdom, is now available from UNX Media. This one-of-a-kind book explains how to do research on a house with uncommon methods and resources used by historic home researchers, and how to determine who may be doing the haunting and why. How to research a haunted house can be used by homeowners, renters, investors, and it should be in the library of all professional paranormal investigators. Get this unique book at unxmedia.com or amazon.com. That's unxmedia.com or amazon.com.
All right, friends, we'll talk at the end of the show about joining the UNX Network and all the stuff that's going on there. I do got to tell you, though, about the Stokes County Paranormal ladies. I've been with them on 2 big investigations. Hope they get back into the one. It was an old resort that was amazing. And this courthouse they took me into was, like I said, you'll see and hear more about that one. I do have to tell you, they sent me 6 or 8 videos, some of them like 3, 4, 5 minutes long, of evidence that they had gotten there and in other places. But I couldn't get it to download. I downloaded a updated version of iMovie, and they moved stuff around. I couldn't find it. So I got 2 or 3, I got 2 short clips instead, but you got to work with these girls. You will be stunned at the stuff in this little town way back in the Appalachian Mountains of Danbury. And this courthouse was sitting on a hill, and it's got just an interesting story on how it got there. Was that the guy got these men drunk and sold them on a patch of land?
Yep.
Mhm.
That's exactly how it is in the history book, Dan.
And I looked it up, and yeah, that's what happened. So Stokes County, was that cut off as a big part of Surrey County? Was Surrey County here first, or was it Stokes?
So originally it was all Orange County, North Carolina. Then it was
Okay.
all Surrey. Then Stokes split from Surrey, and then Forsyth split from Stokes.
Okay. So Stokes County, these guys are looking around for a place to put a courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped at an inn. The guy who owned the inn owned the patch of land across, which was next to useless for farming or anything. And he managed to get these guys drunk and sell them on that, and that's how the courthouse got there.
Pretty much.
yeah.
I mean, it was actually Shackelford's Tavern.
Shackelford's Tavern.
It
It was originally supposed to be where Life Bright Hospital sits now. That's where they originally decided it was going to be, because that's our geographical center. Because it was in Germantown, North Carolina. So they had already picked out the spot. Then they came down here to the tavern for a couple drinks, and he said, "I'm going to sell them that land."
And where is the capital of Stokes County now? Is it still Danbury, or was it moved?
It's still Danbury.
Yeah. Okay, but this is not the courthouse they use anymore for anything other than a minor
not
stuff.
Since like 72, I think.
Yeah.
1972.
Okay.
Then they built the new government center just a couple miles up the road.
Not even a mile.
Not even
It's about a half
yeah.
mile up the road.
But this building is what, late 1890s, early 1900s?
Oh, the original one that was built was in
1850.
1850-ish, because the county Forsyth split from Stokes in 1849. So they had to have time to build here in Danbury.
And that was just a wooden 2-story structure then.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
And when
this
did this
one-
brick structure get built?
1904.
1904.
Okay.
The
So
front
this,
half of it is 1904.
and the courtroom was where we were. How long's that been there? A courtroom.
That one's 1904.
Okay. So a lot's gone on in that room over the course of a century and a little over.
Absolutely. And the pews and everything in there are still original.
Okay. We had so much happen, but there was one mean, and he wasn't evil, he was mean, angry spirit that I know he didn't like me at all. I think he was more protecting you two or something.
Oh, it's not protected. He just like he's very vulgar, and he has been recently. So.
Oh, yeah.
And I know, Kim, you did a Estes thing while I was there, which, by the way, folks, was the first time I ever was in on an Estes thing, and it is kind of cool. What was going on? What was you hearing?
Lord,
I
I've
don't know,
done
she
so
can
many.
remember back at then.
Yeah, it's been a while. But there was a little girl you was talking to.
The
And
little
I
girl.
remember the little girl was trying to communicate, but she was afraid of the other spirits.
Yes. So those are the two main spirits. There's lots of spirits, but those are the two main that has been with us since the first night we investigated there.
Okay.
We call him, Kimberly refers to him as a dirty old man. He's very creepy. But typically the little girl will come through, and she's been more drawn toward me.
She doesn't really like to talk to me as much
She'll
anymore
communicate
the past
with me.
couple months.
Yeah.
She really
Okay.
talks.
But as soon you can tell, I know it's strange to say, but you can tell when the atmosphere changes in there. And then the commentary changes as far as, what's coming through the spirit box or the headphones, and he's there. And you no longer hear from the little girl. So we know they're tied together. We know that they're in this space together.
And recently we've been actually hearing a lot of court cases come
Yes.
through the headphones.
It's very interesting.
What do you mean?
Last weekend, was it? Between me and Anakin?
Yep. So like we had dual Estes going. And for those of you who don't know, most people know what Estes is nowadays, but the spirit box attached to the noise canceling headphones, and the user puts on a blindfold.
There was 2 of us doing it at once last week.
And it sounded like a court case feeding off of each other.
We
It was
were just
very
going back.
interesting.
We couldn't hear each other. We couldn't see each other.
They
but
didn't know
we
what
were
I was
just going
saying.
back and forth
Yeah.
at each other.
It's like commentary you would hear during a trial.
Wow. Sorry I missed that one.
Yeah.
How many tours do you do in a year through there? Public ghost hunts and such.
Well, last year, as far as tours go, how many did we run?
Did we do 2 weekends last year?
Yes.
We only did 2 weekends of ghost tours last year, and that's 2 tours a night. We did a couple of private investigations. We've done a lot of private investigations
This year.
this year.
That's something new. So most people don't realize that you don't have to wait for us to host a public investigation. We've had multiple paranormal groups reach out to us. We've met some good people, and some local that reached out. Hey, can we get in for private? Well, we can host you. We can't leave you in the building alone, but we can be your guides because all of these places are functioning government buildings. You can't just leave people inside of them. So we have had a lot of that request this year, and if we can accommodate them and the places are free that they want to go, all you got to do is reach out to us, and we try to make it happen the best we can. But we have a lot this year.
Is it usually on these tours, on these investigations with other groups you host, as active as it was the night I was there?
Let me tell you just this one group. It was a culmination of groups that came together from as far away as Greenville.
Yeah.
Some of the people that had with them was in Greenville, and the main ones were from Winston, and there was 6 of them.
There was another group that was from like around here. They were in the Francisco area.
But oddly enough, they booked a 6-hour. So we split it 3 at the Arts Place and 3 at the courthouse. On that particular night,
that is the most active I've seen
in the Arts Place
in a long time.
So they had so much going on, and here we ran over our 3 hours. So they were very limited once they got to the courthouse. They compared this place, oddly enough, to Bobby Mackey's. Now,
yeah.
Really?
Yes, and I'm like, really? but yes, they were adamant. They've been back
multiple times.
Some of the people in that group have been back a couple times, and we're hoping to have them back in September. So.
That night I was there, those guys, I'm sure they'd want to come back because, again, it was quiet for so long. We thought we'd wore them out.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, everything just explodes in there. The lights and friends, we had to actually pull the trip wires and lights wires out and undo the batteries and then put batteries back in to make it act right.
And I have researched this. There's no reason for that to act that way. Unless it's just a strong, like, power surge or energy surge. We've had other equipment malfunction. We've had more of that too.
A lot more equipment malfunction.
Especially in the Arts Place.
Well, I know when I was in the courthouse, every battery I had failed.
Yep.
I had to start using the phone to record because everything failed within minutes of putting it in. Brand new batteries, freshly charged batteries, didn't matter.
Well, and don't get me wrong, we do have a lot of quiet times too. There's lots of times that we investigate and don't get much of anything. Yeah. But when you do get stuff, it's really good stuff.
Well, I think it's important to note we had a hell of a thunderstorm that night too.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of energy for those spirits to draw from, and they were like kids getting too much sugar. I think they were acting out.
Yeah.
All right. I do have a couple of the videos I was able to get, and I wish, again, friends, you should have seen these. Every video they sent me had stuff on it that you would not believe, but I know it's real. Let's hit this one. It's I think it's in the courthouse.
Do these radiators still work?
They do, yes.
Okay. Are they on the radiator?
Is that him whistling?
Was that somebody whistling?
I did too.
I thought it was you.
Riley, that what you trying to whistle?
It was that way. It was over there.
It was over there.
That way.
Okay, yes.
Who's whistling? Whistle me a tune.
I'm going to whistle a tune and I want you to finish it if you can.
Oh,
That was you. That was you, right?
No, it wasn't.
Are you kidding me?
Are you serious?
That was not you. Holy.
So you whistled "Shave It a Haircut," and it tossed in the 2 bits.
Yeah, and if you listen to the very first, you pretty much, if you have on headphones, you can hear it really good. When you hear one of us ask, was that just a whistle? You can hear the prior whistles when I asked that question. And then when Chastity, who was with that big group we were telling you about, when she whistled the shaving a haircut, if you listen, you can hear the blowing.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't the whistle as much. It was they were trying to whistle.
Yes.
Right.
But it was the right ending. It was the 2 bits
Yes.
ending to it. Let's play that one again.
Do these radiators still work?
They do, yes.
Okay. Are they on the
Is that him whistling?
Was that somebody whistling?
I did too.
I thought it was
you.
I thought it was you.
Riley, that what you trying to whistle?
It was that way. It was over there. That way.
Okay, yes.
Who's whistling? Whistle me a tune.
I'm gonna whistle a tune and I want you to finish it if you can.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
you. That was you, right?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Are you serious?
That was not you. Oh.
That's so awesome. And that string of purple lights there, that is the ones that you used when I was there that night.
Yep.
And if I understand correctly, they are only supposed to light up in the area where the spirit is.
Each little bitty light pod is an EMF detector.
Okay.
So if an energy comes close to it, it changes colors depending on how close it is or how strong it is.
And it should only be in a small area unless, the whole string was going off at once and staying on.
Well, something we didn't send you because one of the other groups that was there, Down South Supernatural,
Yes.
they actually had an SLS camera. And from my point of view is what you see on that clip. He was positioned directly across the room holding his SLS
I
camera,
was next to him,
pointing toward Chastity, the lady who caught the whistle.
and she had a camera right in front of her face too.
So we had all angles. He actually caught a stick figure that night in the courtroom running from the podium, a small one, running from the podium over off to the right-hand side.
The little girl.
Could be.
I'm assuming.
What about because we saw shadow people, we all saw it eventually, saw the shadow man up on the balcony. Well, who do you think that was? A grumpy old man, or is there someone else in there?
Potentially. Sometimes I get the feeling that there's also spectators up there just watching. I know that there is a female up there because I guess, sensed her. I know that's weird. There's no proof of that, but it's just a feeling I have. I get the same feeling of this lady. I picture her in my head, what she looks like she's just waiting and watching.
That was the spectator section.
Yeah.
That was one of the spectator sections. That was the segregated section.
Yeah.
Back then.
Okay. Well, let's check out this other one I was able to actually get downloaded. And let's watch it, and you can tell us what's going on.
Do you mind? It's loud. Stop it. Thank you. Now you're just trying to be annoying.
When I started ghost hunting, I was with some friends, some guys who've been doing it for some time, and they found demons everywhere. One of them was absolutely convinced there was no such thing as human spirits. Everything was demonic. But the longer I was with them, I'm finding ghosts like them. I'm finding all Casper. And they're convinced, yes, there are human spirits, but why? I know everyone jumps to demons because it's popular, but the human spirits doing that is more fun.
Well, and then I always tell everybody who asks me about demons and things like that, why would you think that if somebody was nasty in life, they wouldn't be nasty in death? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a demon. It's just a nasty spirit.
And that's more what I dealt with is just angry, mean,
Yep.
ornery people.
Yep.
And, one possible demonic in all the years I've been doing this, and I still have my doubts on that one, but it was something wild. So this spirit here was having fun. He was actually playing around.
So last year was our first year of us getting entry into that old Stokes County Jail for our ghost tour. So all of our groups, that was a stop on our ghost tour.
Well, it was for our first year, but we did not have access to the inside. So that was our first year with access to the inside of the building with the jail cells.
And so on our ghost tour, because we leave the door unlocked, because we run 2 tours kind of simultaneously. So we left Kimberly's fiance, Brett, who was an honorary member
He
of
is now.
SCP. We put him in an inmate t-shirt, and he stood guard at the jail in between tours just to make sure nobody went in.
If anyone had, they would have had a heart attack.
Well, we only had access to the back half of the jail where the original jail cells were.
We didn't have access to the apartment in the front.
Right. So he would go, unbeknownst to me, until I seen this video.
I had no idea either.
He would go all the way up to the top floor in the oldest section of the jail, which is 1904, just like the courthouse.
It was all built in the same time.
So he would sit in that back cell put the REM pod out, and he'd munch on his brownies or whatever he had, and that's what was going on. He was getting responses. He's just talking out loud as this device is going off, and there's no electricity. So
there's no electricity to the building.
No, whatever he was dealing with, because even if it was electricity, it would be a steady current.
Right.
These things are dancing around, playing with the lights, it looked like.
It looks like they were playing off of his dry humor that he has,
Same thing happened the next night, too.
Yeah.
One night he had a brownie. The next night he had pizza. And he was like, you want some of my pizza? Da, da, da. And it was a cat ball the next night that was going off in tandem.
Okay.
So we did actually, last year we wrapped up Halloween with we raffled off tickets to investigate with us at the jail on Halloween night. So we had six people in, was it six?
It was
six. 6 people in there with us in the jail because it's a small confined space. But we were outside during our snack break because you got to have snacks, and the equipment's in there just going off, and nobody in the building.
Yeah, that's when we had put a sandwich in there.
Yeah, we left a
fingerprints
sandwich
in
and
the
cigarette.
sandwich.
Yep.
Okay.
There were indents when we came back in the sandwich.
Well, that sounds like so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In the few minutes I've got left, because time always goes so fast when I'm talking to you guys. We've got so much going on this year. Again, the Danbury ghost tours are going to be every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, except one weekend. So it's the weekend of the 3rd, the 10th, and the 24th. And what all are you going to do on that tour?
So those tours consist of the old Danbury High School, which we're about to head to tonight.
Well, before you get to that, though, we put them on a bus. It's not a walking tour.
It's not a walking
tour. We put them
tour.
on a little 12-person, but there's 12 people per tour.
Yep, and we go into each building. So we have the old Danbury High School. We have the courthouse. We have the arts place, and we have the jail this year.
And ours are a little bit different than the typical ghost tour because, number one, we're putting you on the bus and take you into these locations, but we tell minimal history. And then we tell them the stories that we've gathered from the community, people who work in these buildings, investigations that we've held, things like that.
Yeah, we run a Tell Me a Ghost Story campaign every year. And it's actually running right now. It was announced last week.
Yeah.
Just to gather what stories are new from these buildings, if anybody has any history about the buildings.
So we build all that into each location. And once we tell the little stories, we give them a few minutes to wander around and take pictures and things. So that happens at every location. And once we get to the courthouse, there's a little surprise in there. We actually have our equipment out in there, and they are able to see how.
Yeah, we conduct kind of a mini investigation in a few short minutes.
It's still, like 15 at most minutes. We give them time to wander around, ask questions, use dowsing rods, do the Estes method if they want to try it.
And once we get to the arts place, we show them some evidence that we usually don't post until after the tours. But we show them the current evidence that we have from these buildings.
Some of our most prized evidence is what we share here at the end of the tour. So
Well, after this Halloween season, I'm sure you'll all take some time off. We all need to. But what do you got planned for next year? You got any big cities or any other than Texas? Do you have anything planned?
On the back burner, I owe her a trip to Salem
And
Estes Park, Colorado. Now, whether that will happen next year, I hope it would. It depends on if somebody has time to take away to do it. But we'd love to.
and we also have St. Augustine
Oh, St.
Lighthouse
Augustine, yes.
next on our list to rent out.
Yes.
I was there about 2 years ago for a full moon tour.
And see, we've always done full moon tours, but once you get the taste of actually being able to rent somewhere else,
And be in your
Yourself?
room by yourself and quiet.
we got some of our best evidence at the lighthouse as well.
When we were by not at private, but when we were by ourselves in the lighthouse.
We actually had a minute to be in there. We chased something all the way up the steps to the top. So it was fun.
Yeah.
Wow. This is kind of like the Ghost Hunters TV show when that thing looked over at the St.
Exactly.
Augustine and looked down.
It was the exact
And
same thing.
We had tried the exact same scenario that they did in that episode. You would holler down, hello, and we heard a hello echo
back.
right back up at us.
Yes. And it wasn't our echo.
Mhm.
So yeah, we
It
had a
was-
lot of stuff
yeah.
happen there. I had a shadow come out around the door at me when I was looking through the
I've had my hair
viewfinder.
pulled there
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
So we can't wait. That's one of our
Yeah.
favorite places.
Now, when I was there in the, and there was too many people, so it wasn't a great ghost hunt, but in the souvenir shop, they had this circle of stuffed animals.
Mhm.
My wife and I were standing on the back side of it, trying to stay out of the way. Nobody was within 10 feet of us, and about 6 of them come flying off at us.
Really?
So, yeah, it was like someone had just took their hand and knocked about 6 of them right off and at us.
We've also
So-
had a dog get knocked off at us too.
At the tree out
And
there
I've
where they
got
said
that
the
on
little
video.
girls play hide and seek at, we've got that one on video.
Oh,
The dog
okay.
Years ago.
Wow. That place is great.
Nobody's ever seen Dan.
Well, you need to start something. I mean, make a movie of the stuff or something. I got some friends in the ghost hunting video world if you want to send them some samples. All right. Well, it's been great talking to you all again, and I miss that we don't talk as often as we were. But I am working on some stuff over in Pilot Mountain. It was built as a bank, but it didn't open as a bank at first because of the Depression. The upstairs of it was a mental facility where they were doing experimental medication, experimental therapy, like putting him in ice immersion and all that. It's supposed to be very haunted, and somebody just bought it who owns another haunted place right down the street. I'm hoping I can convince her into letting us ghost hunt it. Got reports of spirits wandering in there, just walking around kind of like they don't know where to go or what to do, following people. So if I can get to that, I'm going to want to contact you. You're the most professional group I've dealt with out here.
Well, and we also, Dan, just so everybody knows, we do offer private, confidential, free house calls for anybody that visit. We do a lot for different counties, even Surrey. We've done so.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that you did one of these. I mentioned that you did paranormal tours and public ghost hunts and private.
Yep.
Thought I did. I can't find it now, but it's okay. So anyway, you guys plenty planned, and if I can get a shot this year, my plan is to tell one of the part-time jobs I'm gone for October. I'm going to be gone for a week anyway in there, but I want to get up there and get that tour and see that jail.
We'd love to have you down again.
And if we get a new place, it's kind of in the works. We're waiting to hear back. We'll give you a shot for that one too.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, y'all take care and have a great season, and we'll talk again soon. Would you hold on for just a few minutes before you leave so I can finish this up? We'll talk to you in a little bit. Like I said, guys, this very professional team, they do a great job. You can see by the videos. I wish I could have showed you more of the videos they sent me, and they're just a lot of fun to work with. And we did have some fun in that jail because the ghosts were active, maybe even overactive. I don't know what was going on, but I still say it was the thunderstorm outside. Hey, I do want to mention, of course, the UNX Network. Joining up, you go to unxnetwork.com, and it will take you down to the front page. Come down a little bit. You can join up, get a lot for it. You get the blog. The blog comes out several times a week. It was one of the first to discuss when the Tic Tac UFOs were being seen. Blog talks about what we're doing, what shows are coming on, what guests will be on. You also get a newsletter. Newsletter also talks about amazing things. I know here a while back they were really big on winged humanoids that were being seen over the Missouri River and the Mississippi. And here a couple of years ago, it was a big deal when a Mothman tried to get into a hotel in Las Vegas through the upper windows. A lot of good stuff, a lot of cool stuff going on, a lot of UFOs being seen, cryptids, and of course our ghost stuff. You get all of that. Plus, once every month or two, you get the magazine. And the magazine comes to your email address. It's free for being a member. And it's got some of the best writers. Lee Spiegel, may he rest in peace, he passed away recently, was writing for it with the UFO stuff. I have an article in the one on the left there about the Battleship North Carolina and how haunted it was. I had another article there about legends of Halloween. This magazine came out just recently. I had the article in it about haunted dolls, which, by the way, haunted dolls just creep me out. I can't handle that. This one here was one of the later ones, as you say, come out in May, and it was The Last Call at the Devil's Diner. That was the Tri-County truck stop. It was a place on Route 66 back in the day. Very haunted. I was on the first investigation there and the third investigation. Then I went back multiple times after that. There was something in there that was pretty bad, pretty mean. I still have a hard time believing it was demonic, but I do know it picked up 300+ pound man up and threw him into a closet. So it was pretty tough. Dealt with a shadow man there who was challenging me. He would stand up to me, which I'd never seen before. But it got hit by a tornado back in March and was almost completely destroyed. It's not coming back, and I'm awful sorry to see all that. So join up with the UNX Network, and also keep in mind the Danbury tours, which has this courthouse and the jail and the high school. It's coming up, and you've seen the dates there, so check all that out. And of course, you can always come back. This will be on YouTube forever. Nothing on the internet ever seems to die, so you can come back and check that out. And I want to thank you again for being here. Thank the girls from Stokes County Paranormal. They are amazing. And I want to remind you all, it's Halloween, so be careful, be safe, and I guess most important of all, be spooked. Good night.